Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Dave, DLC Dave, and welcome back to Rise of the Phoenix. We're in episode 22, chapter 22. Feels like it's been no time at all to be honest, but we're 22 episodes in. And as you can see on the screen, this episode is titled, It's Happened Again. Now you might be wondering, what's happened again? There's no transfers or anything like that, but what could it be? I'm going to show you now. Yep, we're at the game, we're at the Chester game, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players missing from international duty. We also have Adam Elms is suspended, and Ben Vici is injured. So, and looking at them, they are all our key players. Basically, every single one of those players would start. Yep, every single one. So, unfortunately, we are light for sure. But I will, before we get into the Chester game, I'll go through now the games that you've missed. And it finishes 2-0 home to Southport. Very, very convincing win. They really didn't pose us any threat whatsoever. Paul Herbert and Gary Phillips getting the goal. Espinosa getting the man of the match with an assist and a clean sheet, obviously. And it was a very, very comfortable game in which we were able to play pretty much our first run side, apart from Dan Ryder, who was injured. So, yeah, it was a good performance, and we'll get into the next game. And it finishes 4-0 away at Torquay. But Torquay actually created a couple of chances, but just weren't clinical enough. See, Jake Bradford had a good game, 7.4, which is good for a goalkeeper. And we took it away from them. We took our chances. Alan Skinner with a brace, Nathan Smith and Paul Herbert popping up with goals, and a very, very good win. Again, we were able to knit a very, very strong side for this one. And yeah, very, very good win. So we'll get into the next one. And then we have a good 2-1 win away at Hartlepool. A very good win considering we have Chris Hinton sent off in the 42nd minute, and I really thought I was going to peter out to a draw, but a really good late winner by Alan Skinner there. He popped up with a header and it was an own goal, was the first one, as you saw, Harry Cipriano. But yeah, good late win to keep up our little run, despite a red card, and that was not the only red card that we picked up in this episode, unfortunately. So we'll show you that next game. And there we have it. It finishes 1-0 to Lincoln. As you can see, Adam Elms got sent off in the 7th minute. There was a two-footed lunge that when I saw it happen, I was just thinking, oh God, what? You know, we'd just gotten through the last game just about against Hartlepool with a red card, and so only just scraped through, and then for Elms to do that in the 7th minute was just absurd, and that's why he is still suspended for the game that we're at today. But so we lost this one 1-0, unfortunately. Just weren't able to really create anything. As you saw with the goal, that was basically, they had quite a few chances. If you look on the left hand side, they hit the woodwork. They had 2 clear cuts. They had quite a few chances where we were still playing out. I probably should have switched to a more counter-attacking style, but I just felt like we had still had an opportunity with the players on the pitch to go out and dominate the game, but we just weren't able to, unfortunately. So we lost that 1-0. Lincoln did a job on us, really, when it went down to 10 men. So it was, well, fair play to them. But we'll get on to the next one. Another 1-0, this time in our favour, but the game was not close in the slightest. Look at the stats, we absolutely dominated. 4 clinical chances, we hit the woodwork, so much possession. The pass completion ratio for Sutton was shocking, but it was Paul Phillips who grabbed the winner from a corner, as you saw. So, not so I'd say it's always a bit fortunate when you win a game 1-0. As you can see, Dan Ryder came back, but didn't have the best of game, picked up 6.2. That's really just as a result of him missing most of the chances that we created, unfortunately. But still, he just came back and he does make amends. I'll show you that right now. And that's how it finishes. Aldershot 1, Phoenix Sports 1. Dan Ryder did get his goal, as I alluded to earlier. We ended up finishing this game with 10 men, I believe, as well as Paul Phillips. It was a sub himself. I think it was got injured later on in the game. So unfortunately, we ended up with 10 men again. But didn't cost us too much. We tried everything to win after they broke clear for the equaliser, but we just weren't able to, unfortunately. But I believe that's the last game of our run. Yes, it is. As you can see, these are the games we've played. A decent number of games, a decent record. A little bit iffy as of late, only scoring 1 goal in both games. It means you're always likely to come up a bit short if you're only scoring 1 goals. But as you can see at the top of the screen, it does leave us top of the league. We're 3 points clear of Morecambe, who are in second place. 4 of Fylde and 5 of Chester, who we played today. So it should be a good test, especially without some of our best players. But we're gonna have to deal with it, I guess. Now, so that's been some pretty big news since you were last with us. Is that, as I mentioned, it could happen, has happened now. Dan Ryder has signed that new deal. I could not be more delighted. I'm so pleased. He's here for 3 more years, really. He's on a big wage. I know that, but he's our best player, and we need him. Absolutely, we need him. The other bit of news is that I've also signed a new contract. So I've signed a 2-year extension. The board came to me. Obviously, I was never going to say no. So I signed a new deal. The training facilities should be done in 2 weeks' time, which is good. And yeah, things are looking good. I don't believe signing Tom Anderson was a good move, but I do. 6.77. 30 years old, out with 3 months for hip injury. Good job. Anyway, putting all that aside, we're going to get into the game. So I'll bring you the lineup in just a second. Okay, guys, so as you can see, we've got Olawale in goal for the first time in a long while, thanks to, well, most of these are because of the international call-ups. We have Josh Hutchins, Gale, Johnson, Espinosa at the back, so a pretty decent back four. This is where it gets a bit off. We've got Jonathan Ofori playing in midfield, and Mitchell Kinnear, who is not a midfielder in the slightest, but he's the only one who can possibly play that role. Ofori, I feel, isn't bad actually. His passing is good. His vision is okay, and I feel like he's not too bad. He just needs to basically just improve all round really. But he's only 17. He's obviously got potential to develop, and he is improving. And I don't feel like he's that big of a risk to play him in this game. Mitchell Kinnear, on the other hand, is probably the worst player in the first team squad at 20 years old as well. He really, mm, yeah, he's he's gonna have his work cut out really, but he's got decent pace, which is basically why he's playing. His teamwork and work rate are okay. His technique's all right, so I'm gonna just say yeah, he's gonna have to deal with it basically. Hibbert will play on the right. Weaver again is not an attacking midfielder, but he can play forward role, and a lot of the time that forward ends up that attacking midfielder ends up making runs in beyond the striker, which is why I'm thinking he could be a decent option for that position. Really, it's just a huge lack of options. We can only name 4 subs, including that Sean Afalabi again, who's appeared from nowhere. Nathan Smith plays on the left, and Alan Skinner leads the line, number 99. So, is that Tom Rosenthal? Actually, he was on loan at us, wasn't he? Yeah, did awful. Yeah, that first year. Yeah, see, actually recognise some players. Keanu Marsh Brown? No. Ke okay. There's somebody called Marsh Brown, I'm sure. I know about all the Marshies in football. Yeah. Oh, I said that, I didn't realise you probably know my last name's Marsh. Just realised you probably might not have noticed that. Jason Banton. See, I do recognise these players. It's actually quite good. Although Billy Lowe, he actually looks quite good. He's on loan from Middlesbrough, which denotes he's probably going to be good as they've got a good youth system. Yeah, it's going to be a tough game, this one. No problem. Definitely. More Matty Waters. I think he's done as their key player, so he is yeah, it's going to be a really tough game without some of our best players. And I'm really probably not expecting us to win, if I'm being honest. It's probably one of the first league games which I go into it expecting to probably lose, especially at home, which would be a big shame. But we're going to get into it right now. There's the beautiful Phoenix Sports ground, looking majestic as ever. Pitch looks all right. Actually, no, it doesn't, but it's a bit green. Let me kick off here, shooting from left to right in our usual green home kit. Let's see how I'm relying on the wide men, Smith and Herbert, to be able to see us through. I mean, the defence is fine. That's the other thing, but the midfield are just. The four is okay, but Kinnear and Weaver just are not suited to the positions they're playing. But we do have the ball, and I was going to say that's perfect for 6'7" Paul Herbert to just arrive on and nod it in. But he got way underneath it and it went way over the bar. And Rosenthal plays it through to Lowe, who finds Alawali. Pretty straightforward save. Game called at a clear-cut chance. It was a fairly narrow angle. I guess he should have made the keeper make more of an effort to save it, but still. We've got a free kick here. It's floated in. Not the best free kick there from Herbert, but we pick it up. Hutchins plays it through to Kinnear. No, it's just not good enough. I'm gonna have to let him go. I really don't like to let go of our youngsters that are our players because he's coming through the youth system, but when it's just not good enough, it's not good enough. And as I say, that Skinner reacts well from a Paul Herbert cross. It was pretty deep angle to cross from, but he just fed it into the area, and Skinner made that run across his man, as you can see here, or behind his man really, and just knocked it in. We could have fought it, and the keeper maybe could have done better, but we take the lead 1-0. This will be a really good result. I can't stress enough how big a result I think this would be. The players who got missing against a good team near the top of the league, and we have it again. Smith plays it through to Weaver. Oh, I thought that was in, probably just wide of that post. Well, actually, that's why the own position we actually have cover. So I'd bring Adam Kane on. He's been decent this so far this year. Adam, I feel like he's doing okay. Hopefully Smith doesn't aggravate his injury by getting on the ball. Or he could score, that'd be fine as well. Mitchell Kinnear. Jay Weaver, and that is what he can do. That's what that 14 finishing allows him to do. I may even look at retraining him because he'd be a really good option, playing all across that back, not back three, the two behind the striker. Because he has got a cracking finish on him. If given the option, as you saw there, is going away from goal, ball coming across him. It's a tough finish. He absolutely slammed it. And look at the cartwheel as well, beautiful. And we're heading into half time now, 2-0 up, and I am delighted. I've got to say, I'm very happy, lads, and they're happy. We're all happy. Everyone's happy. Let's get into the second half. Yeah, this would be a really good result. I'm gonna keep saying it because it's true. Mitchell Kinnear is actually 7.7. How have we found his position? Deal with that. Okay. Then we've got Kane into Weaver. Josh Hutchins just slowed down in the goal scoring. I think he only scores in live comms by the looks of it. Are they actually going to come clear with it now? Brown up too low, but a Forey. What a man. We've got Paul Herbert on it. He finds Mitchell, the Iniesta, you might call him. Adam Kane now. Can he get the ball across? He can, and there is Alan Skinner. Lovely bit of play all round really, but Adam Kane made things happen. That was actually Skinner's 50th goal for the club. A really good effort considering he doesn't play that many games. But it was again, it was good movement from him, getting across the man, getting to the near post, and once he gets there, he is left-footed, and it was a pretty straightforward finish for him. Another injury, gash leg, bloody hell. All right, then Jacob Wilson, the only forward player we have. So you're playing. I do look at that finishing stat because I say a bit like how we've scored his goal. You end up in central positions, and they make that running beyond the strikers. So they end up in in a striking position really. So it's just about who would be suited to that to more like a striker. But we are playing players pretty massively out of position really. But it looks like we're going to basically cruise to a very, very good win. They only had that one chance that we've seen where they had that shot from a narrow angle that Alawali dealt with pretty straightforwardly. We want it again here. It's going to feed through Wilson, and yeah, that's what I mean about the attacking midfielder making that run in behind the striker. That's where you need that's why you need somebody with good finishing. I'm going to bring off Matthew Johnson purely because he's on low fitness. I think the game's won, and I do not want an injury, essentially. Did you have a free kick? And wow, okay, that happened quickly. Alan Skinner grabs his hat trick. Free kick came in. The keeper, I think the keeper just was deceived by it, or he came for it when he shouldn't have done. If you look at the keeper's positioning, yeah, he's winning. Where are you going, mate? Oh, how was that ever going to get to you? Skinner just gleefully taps in, and it's 4-0. It's a good team, and we've got hardly any of our well, we've got a whole midfield missing really. And looks like that's how it's going to finish. Time's ticked away, and it's a brilliant win. We owe a lot to Alan Skinner stepping up, and he has done that. He has been a really consistent figure. Stan Ryder has picked up injuries at times. He's off playing in World Cups and whatever. But if you look at that now, we are 4 points clear of Fylde. Trust to stay where they were really. We've only conceded 8 goals so far. This is by far the best in the league. We also scored the most. We are definitely the best team in the league, and I don't see any reason why we shouldn't get promoted into League 2, which is really exciting for me to say. I was a little bit wary, a little bit nervous about this this season because the board want us to go up, and I thought that we probably should, but you just never know as the quality ramps up and up and up. Right then, so we're in the middle of October, so if I look at a game around November, that would be probably ideal. I think we'll come back for the Hereford game, guys. I think that makes sense, so we'll do that game. Yeah, it's a decent amount of games. We've also got the FA Cup 4th qualifying round against a team in our league, but really it shouldn't be that much of a big a deal. We're expected to get to the 3rd round again, which is, again, it's always a big ask, but we keep managing it somehow, so hopefully, I'm still praying that we get a big Premier League away match. That would be beautiful, but we can only play who we get drawn against, so we'll see how we hopefully get on. But yeah, I think that'll bring us in an episode. If you have enjoyed it, please leave a like. Follow me on Twitter at DLCDave1. Obviously subscribe if you want to see more. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.